All right, so thank you everyone for joining me again for episode number 5 of season 3 of Better Left Untitled with my guest today, Jin Luv, in the building. I'm so happy to have you. After I'm off everybody else, I'm so happy to have you.
I know, I'm excited. We was playing the back and forth game for a minute.
A minute trying to get scheduled, and this man is hard to get a hold of. You here, then you in the Bay, then you back here, then you in the Bay, then you out of town, then you doing shows, then you working with Too Short, then you doing this, and you doing that. Like, so tell me about what have you been up to?
Man, honestly, a lot. Shit's been pretty crazy lately. It's been pretty surreal, you know. I've been moving around a lot, back and forth from here in the Bay. I've been getting to travel outside of California too, which has been pretty dope. I'm just blessed. I'm grateful each day, creating and just trying to figure out how to make this dream all the way real, you know?
Okay, so you're from the Bay.
Yeah.
Another Bay artist. Come on, let's go. I ain't putting y'all on. Like, I ain't putting y'all on. Let's
You
go.
from the Bay too?
I'm not from the Bay, but the Bay shows me hella love.
That's
like, all the artists there are hella dope. You guys always come down. Y'all always like, yeah, what you need. And it's all about collaborating. And nobody's too good to try to work with you. And that's why I love the Bay. Like, y'all really show a lot of love.
We got to stay humble. Yeah.
That's what I be trying to tell people. Especially, like, people who don't know, who are not from Cali. Like, the Bay and LA are two totally different vibes.
Hell yeah.
So, like, tell me how it was growing up in the Bay for you.
It was dope, actually. I'm born and raised in Concord, California. It's in the East Bay. That's like close to like San Francisco and Oakland.
Okay.
Growing up in the Bay was tight. It's a really dope melting pot. My mom and dad are from India, and they moved to the Bay, which I'm blessed because they could have moved anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they moved to the Bay, and they had me like a year later, and then I spent my whole like childhood life out there, and it was dope. It was dope.
Alright, so like growing up there, what would you say was like the hardest thing, especially since you would be considered like first generation? So how was that for you? And like, why did you choose music?
Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, growing up in the Bay, like, shit, it was tough at times, especially being a brown boy.
Yeah.
And trying to do what I do. Like, you face like a lot of judgments. You face like a lot of people like kind of looking at you and judging the outside before they even like get to know the inside of you. And most of them get kind of mind blown when they realize what I do.
Yeah.
But music, man, I got into music. I was always around music. My family, they come from a musical background. I spent a lot of time with my cousins growing up, and they had like a vibey ass sounding music. Like my older cousin Asia, I remember riding around with her. She was always like the cool one. I always wanted to be around her and hop in the car with her because she was always playing like dope ass R&B. She put me on to like John B. She put me on to like some.
She put you on a nice R&B when R&B was smooth, like before it turned into what it turned into now.
Yeah. She put me on some real vibes, like, and I remember I always wanted to be around her because like I'd always like hear about cool music from her, and then like I always took that with me everywhere I went. And right when I got out of high school, I mean, when I was younger, I wrote like poetry and shit.
Okay.
And then it was always for the ladies. They always had me inspired. And then
let's go. One for the ladies. I love that.
Yep. And then like I had some close friends growing up that were doing music. And then I remember I would spend a lot of time around them, just kind of watching them do their thing. And then one day I just kind of decided like, man, I want to make music. And here I am now, like 13 years later, and shit's crazy.
Really, like, I had Fuzz on here, and that's how.
That's bro. Shout out Fuzz.
That's how my man was like, yo, no, I gotta make it happen. Let's get it happen. Let's get it on. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. And it's funny that you're like, the ladies always have you inspired, and that's one of the things that Fuzz said too about R&B when she's on her R&B tip. She always wants to make something for the ladies,
to make it feel good.
I love that because it's like I feel like R&B has changed from something that used to be very soulful, very sweet, very for the ladies, to something that's kind of more tailored more for men now, and it's like it's like lost its smoothness and its touch. Like R&B singers are trying to be rappers now and rap sing on their stuff. Drake got the game all types of confused. Like he got R&B and he got rap. You know what I'm saying? So he's singing, he's rapping. A lot of artists are doing the sing rap thing. Like so, you're strictly R&B.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I do all sorts of shit, to be honest with you. My the Jin Luv forte is like has to have like some sort of guitar sound in it.
Okay.
But it could be like a hip hop song. It could be like an R&B song. It could even be like an alternative rock type of song as well. I try and do as much as I can, but if you hear the guitar in it, it's for sure the Jin Luv signature.
Is that what you play?
Yeah. I mean, I don't play it, but like I have like players that play in my songs.
Okay, all right. So that's the instrument that has your heart. Like if you could play any instrument, it would be the guitar.
If the shit got some strings on it, it's for sure.
I feel that. I like that. Okay, so what else? Like, how did you end up? How did you end up working with Too Short? That's what I meant to say.
Oh man, shout out Short. I was just with him today actually. But what's next is you had Frenchie Baby on your show.
I had Frenchie Baby.
Frenchie, shout out Frenchie too. That's
another Bay artist. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
He's the guy. Frenchie the guy. But what's nuts is I'm hella cool with my homie that plays in the NBA. His name's Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay.
And I've been cool with him for the past 3 years, but he sent me a track earlier this year, damn near in January, and he's been like kind of helping me with my music. Like he always sends me shit and he's like, yo, I think you should get on this, da-da-da-da-da. So long story short, I did this song called Foolish.
Okay.
And I did it at the beginning of this year, and it's kind of like a hip hop track. It's a slap, honestly. Like it has like that Bay Area bass in it, and it has like the smooth rap flow in it, and I'm just talking my shit on it. And I ended up making that song in January, and it kind of caught some traction. And then that girl Hannah that we were talking about, she booked me for a show in the underground in Hollywood on Valentine's Day with Fuzz and some other artists that were on the bill. And I played that song, and when I played that song, hella people started coming in the room. And like I had everybody's hands up at like one moment. And people,
was that for you?
It was nuts. Honestly, it was tight because I've had hella shows where like it was crickets. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So that one kind of set me off. And then, long story short, I put a video up of everyone in the crowd, like while me performing, and I got booked for a show a week later, somewhere out in the valley. And Frenchie pulled up, and he brought DJ Upgrade. And
I've had DJ Upgrade too.
Yeah. That's how I met you, actually.
Yes, it was actually.
Yeah.
I remember.
Shout out DJ Upgrade too.
We were still in that show studio. Yeah. Yep, I remember.
Yep, I remember that day clearly. But Frenchie and Upgrade pulled up, so I performed. I did my thing, and then I hop in the car with Frenchie, and Upgrade's in the car, and we're just burning a fat backwood. And Upgrade like turns around while he's in the front seat, and he's like, "Yo, bro, like I work for Short," and he's like, I like that you from the Bay. I fuck with your songs. You got a dope vibe. He's like, pull up to the studio tomorrow, and I'm gonna introduce you to Short. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like I grew up listening to Short, so that shit was like nuts. And you know, people out here in LA, they always be talking that shit. You never know like what's real and what's not.
I be trying to tell people who not from out here, I'm like, the game out here is different. They really know how to finesse their words into a way that you like, oh yeah, shit really about to go down, and shit don't go nowhere.
Real shit.
It's like got full flats, never had it. The car been stripped, and niggas is just like, yeah, I got this clean ass car for you,
Real
and
shit.
you pull up and it ain't shit but a shell. And you like, my nigga, fuck, I'm supposed to do with this? Like, the finesse is real.
Yeah.
But go ahead. So you was like, yeah, nigga, whatever.
Yeah, so I mean, long story short, he hit me the next day, like, pull up to the studio. So I pull up to the studio, and then I walk into the studio. It was just me, Short, Upgrade, and his engineer, Zach. And they put me in the hot seat. I played like 10 records, and like a couple of them in, Short just started turning up the volume. Nice. And he hella started fucking with my songs. I played him, went through all 10. He was listening through them like all the way through thoroughly. And like Short be like a man of few words sometimes. Like he don't really be saying shit. But long story short, after my session, we chopped it up for a second. He was like, yo, we gonna talk. And I was like, oh, that's it. Like I was just blessed to have the opportunity to play some shit for him, like, and next thing you know, like whatever, we were just talking. He dipped. He calls me the next day, like, yo, pull back up to the studio. And I pull back up to the studio and then play him some more shit. We're kicking it. I'm smoking with him. Like, I start asking him hella questions. Like, I was hella curious. Like, this was like one of the biggest tap-ins I've ever had in my life.
And
like,
I'm so glad that you took that opportunity and wasn't scared to ask questions. Because some people like freeze up and they don't want to ask questions. They don't want to offend. But you got to understand when you're put in that position, you got to take advantage of it to the full extent.
You don't got shit else to lose.
At all. You already here. You already basically made it to the callback. So might as well go ahead, kick it out. I want to know the game. You never know. Like that might have been your last opportunity, but I'm glad that it wasn't. Yeah. But go ahead.
So he invites me back. We're like burning. I asked him, first question I asked him, like, yo, Short, what's the first song you ever made? He started playing me shit like from like the 80s and like playing me hella shit. And then he started going through his catalog, like, and I'm just sitting there smoking. I'm hella high. I'm like lightweight in my head. Like, damn, this is crazy. Like, you know, plays me songs that he did with damn near everybody, like fucking Jay-Z to Biggie to Mac Dre to Pac to fucking every dope Bay artist. Like, goes through hella shit just playing me fucking vibes, like, you know? Nice. And I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like, so then long story short, I pull back up on him a couple more times, and within a week, I go up to him and he hella fucked with this one song I have. It's called Tappin'. I just made it maybe a couple weeks before I met him. And long story short, I pulled back up on him like within a week, and we did a record together. And then 6 weeks later, I'm on stage with him in front of 1,000 people. And then another month later, I'm on stage with him in front of 5,000 people. And then Frenchie came on stage with me and was breaking his bones and shit. Like,
that had been live.
Then in another month, I'm on stage with him in front of 15,000 people. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this shit is crazy. It was like so real. And I didn't realize like what was going on at the time because I was like so
tunnel vision. Like, I got to get this done. It's the opportunity of a lifetime.
And I'm nervous too. Like, fuck, man. Like, especially when you put me on that stage in front of like 15,000, man, I'm looking at, and this is in my hometown. This is in the Bay. This is like at Bottle Rock Music Festival.
You got to show out.
Bro, I'm on stage. We went on stage right before Carlos Santana. Outkast was there. Like, and I'm up there on stage with some legends, like, fucking nuts, man. But, like, I did that shit and, like, but yeah, Short's been showing me dumb love, man. Like, I met him in March, and, like, the amount of opportunities that he's presented me with in such a short amount of time has, like, opened so many doors for me already. Like, today, I left the studio with him. And he's been helping me do an EP. And he's been like really like putting like a lot into me. Yeah. And I finished it today. And I'm really excited for that. It's coming out at the top of the year.
I can't wait to hear it.
Man, I'm so excited. This shit is a blessing, Kai. I'm telling you, it's like crazy. Especially being from the Bay and to have someone like that co-sign you.
I'm like hella like just shocked right now. Like I didn't know. I'm so happy for you. Like if you can't see it in my face, I'm like completely stunned. Like so basically, working with Short in itself was a complete total blessing for you, especially him bringing you out on stage. And what was the festival that was in the Bay that you told me about that he brought you out?
It was called Bottle Rock.
Bottle Rock.
Yeah, okay. It's a pretty big festival that happens once a year. And they usually have like some of the biggest acts like in music that come out. It was pretty tight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you get to meet anybody else while you were there? Like to network? Have you worked with anyone since that festival or no? Besides Short.
Besides Short, no. I mean, like, it was really hectic that day. I really didn't get to like meet and have a conversation with anybody, but like I saw a lot of people walk by me, which was pretty tight. Okay. Like, and just being there was just hella dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we gonna get a single from you and Fuzz? Like, when's that coming? Is that on the EP? Like, can we get that?
Fuzz on my EP.
Oh yeah.
I'm hella excited about that. Honestly, Fuzz is like one of my favorite people ever. Backstory on me and Fuzz. Me and Fuzz met on SoundCloud. Like, we started following each other on SoundCloud maybe like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And maybe 3 years ago, and I was just a fan of her music. She had dropped a mixtape called Forever Mackin'. And I remember I'd just be listening to that shit at like random times in my life. And then like one day I'd send her a message on SoundCloud, like on the SoundCloud messages. And I was like, yo, like I hella fuck with your shit. You're dope as fuck. She was staying in Jersey at the time. That's where she's from.
Yeah. Was she still in Jersey or had she moved out here? So she was still in Jersey. Okay. Yeah. And you were still in the Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so whatever, long story short, I ended up moving to LA, and then she hit me when she got to LA, and she came and pulled up on me, and I had like my studio set up in my room, And she came through, and I'm not gonna lie, I was dumbass nervous because I was like a fan of Fuzz at the time.
What
Like,
was that?
I mean, I'm still a fan of Fuzz. I'm forever a fan of Fuzz, but like,
but you were just a fan.
yeah,
you know
and like wasn't a friend yet.
Right.
Like me and Fuzz are like this now. Fuzz know like a lot about me now. Like you know what I mean. But she came through that night, and I remember I bought a bottle of Henny. I had some weed. Fuzz don't even smoke, and I'm just sitting there like just happy to be there with her, and I'm like getting lit off my ass, and I get lit to a point where like I gotta lay down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, drink too much, smoke too much.
Super happy, got super lit. Like, I gotta take a nap.
And then, like, whatever, Fuzz didn't even know how to record herself at the time. And she, like, was, like, telling me, like, I had a song for her loaded up. And she was like, yo, tell me how to record. So I got up, like, hella faded. I teach her how to record, and then I go back and I lay down. And by the time she like woke me up, she had recorded a whole song.
Oh shit!
And she like taught herself how to record after I just showed her a couple things. And then me and her been hella tight. And I remember she left my house that day, and I felt like a total fucking nerd because like I didn't bring my A game. You know what I'm saying? And Fuzz like got the vibes. Like so like whatever. Long story short, I told Fuzz, I was like, damn, you're hella deep on the other side. Like I was hella inspired after I met her. And then what's crazy was that my homie Hannah, she booked me for a show, and she had Fuzz on there.
Right.
And then it was in the Bay. And then Fuzz pulled up in the Bay, and then, you know, we were kicking it, linked up. And then I remember one time, like shortly after that show, I pulled up on Fuzz in the Valley just wanting to talk to her. And we just talked about life and like just hella shit, and like really like didn't even pull up to like do no music. We just pulled up to have a conversation.
Just to kick it, just to chop it
and,
up. Sometimes you need to download or offload, like, and like you going through some shit, and you like, I just want somebody that just feels me. You know what I'm saying? That understands what I'm going through. Somebody I can like kind of just like lean my emotional weight on. Sometimes I feel like we all need that. You know, it's not like, oh, I need something from you. I need to get something off my chest, and you're somebody that I trust.
Yeah, I for sure trust Fuzz. But me and her became hella cool after that, and like we just started kicking it a lot more, and like, man, I'm really blessed to know her. To be honest with you, she's like one of the greatest artists I've ever met in my life, and like I love her vibe, I love her energy, like. She's so dope. She's so dope.
Like sitting here and chopping it up with her, she's hella dope. She's like, it's like sometimes when I bring artists on that I haven't like gotten a chance to kick it with or meet with outside of, this is our first time sitting down actually having a conversation. I'm like really nervous because you know I can't catch a vibe and I have to hurry up and catch it, and sometimes you know it doesn't really make for a good on camera chemistry. But she was hella, you know, giving it back to me, and you know, talking. Some people be on here hella reserved, and it's like I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? It's like as soon as you let them know that you can cuss, they be like, oh yeah, they be talking their head off. But sometimes they'll be like really reserved, and I'm glad that, you know, that she let it all out. Like she really didn't hold really anything back, and like that's the type of artist that I like to have on. Just like having you on here is like, because I have so many questions. Like, have you gone back to India? Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so how was that?
By the way, before I start the India thing, I watched y'all interview today, you and Fuzz, and she was like, "Wait, can I cuss on here?" Like, that shit was hella funny to me. To be honest with you,
I mean, I appreciate her asking, but this is all my shit. So yeah, I cuss all the time. I can't stop it. I'm like, oh damn, and I'll be around kids. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, damn. I'm sorry.
She's hella funny.
She's hilarious.
But yeah, India. Yeah, my mom and dad are from there. My mom's from New Delhi, and my dad is from Punjab. And I used to go like once a year, and I haven't been in like maybe 8 years. But I went once a year, and then when I like got to like maybe my sophomore year in high school, my parents started sending me by myself for like summer vacations in high school. And I got to go kick it with my grandmother, and I picked up the language, and I got to like roam around by myself, and that's when I kind of like realized like, damn, I'm blessed out here in the States. Like life's fucking crazy out here. Like people don't got shit out there, and they're like happy, and like people have everything out here, and they're still not satisfied with shit. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely grateful like for my parents' background, and for them to like have enough dough to send me back, like, you know what I mean? Or like show me that, because that shit like helped me out with my upbringing so much. Like
I mean, you gotta know where you came from.
Yeah.
You know, you got to, and I'm glad that you got that opportunity to go back. Especially, like I can only imagine some of the things that you've been through. Like you said, being a brown boy in the States, and you know, first generation. Like, I'm glad that you. So English would be your first language.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad that at least you didn't have that language barrier on top of it, because I know it would make it hella hard, even more harder than what it was.
For sure.
Because I mean, honestly, like I come from a totally different place, and if it wasn't for my mom moving us from Ohio to Richmond first, like I would have never seen anyone like from India or the eastern side of the world, period. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm glad that they did land in the Bay, because you did say it is a melting pot. I know the Bay is a really big melting pot. So it's just like, you're going to get that diversity anyway. And I feel like people in California just period are used to that diversity.
Real shit.
But if they would have picked somewhere like where I'm from, like by all means, Dayton, Ohio is where I'm from, it would have been totally different. You know what I'm saying? You would have been, people would have been shocked looking at you, and you looking at them like it's all black people or white people. So it's just, you know, I'm glad that you're also able to have your culture and learn about it, because some people never go back. And like, that's how, you know, black people lost their history. Their culture is because it got wiped clean. So I'm glad that you don't have to come from that. You don't have to go through that. Like, even though I'm not trying to downplay or anything, I say that anything is hard. Like, for anybody out there that's listening, like, what was one of your biggest struggles being Indian and trying to pursue hip hop, R&B type music?
I mean, people always talk shit, like
always.
But like, hey, you just listen to it, goes in one ear out the other. Like, you know, at first, like sometimes, like when you're not working on yourself as much, it affects you. But like a real struggle that I had, like before I even did music, was my birthday's 9/11.
Okay.
And I remember going to school. I was in the 7th grade. I remember going to school that day, like when 9/11 happened, and like certain white kids like came up to me and they was like, yo, look what your people did to us. And I ain't even Muslim, like I ain't even like, you know what I'm saying? Right. But that was like some shit. Like I feel like that was just like crazy to me. Like, but yeah, like after that, I feel like shit got hella worse for brown people. Like whether going to the airport, like I feel like sometimes like, or even walking down the street, people like get all these crazy ass judgments from people. But pursuing music, like, you know, I faced like the occasional shit talking, or the occasional like, oh, you do music, or like, you know what I'm saying, like shit like that.
Somebody trying to dismiss you.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, shit, you just gotta know who you are. You gotta tune everybody else out, and like you gotta keep pushing no matter what. Like, because at the end of the day, none of that shit matters. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're all here to pursue our dreams, and your fucking skin color doesn't have anything to do with that.
It doesn't.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't. And I'm glad that, you know, like I said, it must have been hard. I can only imagine feeling that type of, you're supposed to be happy. That's your birthday. You know what I'm saying? Some white kids walking and looking with your people like, you're not even nuts. Like, it's crazy.
That was nuts.
Like, yeah, like
that
would have been like, wait, what? Like, what do I have to do with any of that? You know, like that. I'm standing here looking at it just like you. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, I feel like a lot of people should feel like fucking assholes afterwards. Because when they found out the truth of how it was an inside job.
I mean, who knows what it is?
Oh man, come on now. At that point, look, we all know that this is 2019. We pretty much know the truth. And if you want to argue with it, fight me. Like it was an inside job. Like, stop blaming people, brown people, black people, other people of color for some bullshit. But that's just
real shit. I appreciate that.
I'm just protective like that. I would have fought somebody if I would have saw that. And I think I was in like, in the 4th grade when that happened, and we were like going to lunch or something like that, and they just turned our asses right back around like, oh shit, we gotta go back to the classroom, shit's on lockdown. And we were in Ohio, like, so we weren't nowhere near that shit. But I mean, you know, who knows what's gonna happen. Name me your top 5 artists that you would want to work with right now.
Top 5 artists that I want to work with
right now that you haven't yet.
Oh, of course. I say Brent Faiyaz, I want to do some shit with Drake. I want to work with Pharrell.
Ooh.
Michael Jackson if he was still alive.
Okay.
Aaliyah if she was still alive. That's 5 right there.
That's 5 right there.
But Michael Jackson and Aaliyah are dead, so I'll give you 2 more. I say, man, that's hard, dude. Missy Elliott,
Ooh,
Timbaland.
That was a good one. Okay, all right. A lot of VA. Come on, VA in the building. That's Pharrell. That's Missy and Tim, all from VA.
Yeah.
All right. So the first person that you named out the rip, I don't know who that is.
Brent Faiyaz.
Okay.
He's hella dope. Honestly, I found out about him maybe like 2 years ago. He's a solo artist, and then he's also in a group called Sonder. And
I know the group called Sonder.
Yeah. So he's the singer in the group.
Okay.
So he makes music with them, and then he like does his own solo shit. But he's dumbass raw. I feel like hella of his songs are just like vibes, like, and he just got a style I feel like no one got, and he always got that shit that make you feel some real ass shit. And like his melodies are hella raw. He got some shit like with the bass, but then it's still for the ladies.
Okay.
But yeah, shout out Brent Faiyaz. Like, is he
like Daniel from Division?
He's a little different. I say.
Well, I'm talking about like as far as having the melodies and always giving something for the ladies.
Yeah.
Somewhere around like that. Would you
somewhere around.
Would you put both of them on the playlist together?
Yeah, you could.
Okay,
You for sure could.
They match.
Yeah.
Okay, they complement each other. Okay, cool. Okay.
Real shit.
All right.
Yep.
All right. So, who are you listening to right now besides everyone that you just listened to? Like anybody like that's underground that you only know of?
Hell yeah. I'm listening to Fuzz's album.
Oh, Fuzz, Himalaya Player.
Yeah, that shit's on repeat. Track 1, shout out Fuzz. I always tell her, Fuzz, play track 1 whenever I'm in the car with her. And then my bro, my close friend Trev Case, he just dropped an album called Big Binger. And he's a cat from Alameda. He lives out here in LA. He got songs with like T.I., Young Thug. He's like on the come up too. He got some serious ass vibes. I need to link y'all.
Please do.
I just linked him in short like not too long ago. But he got an album that just dropped that's just like fire from start to finish. Like and then it's his birthday too. Shout out Trev. Happy birthday.
Libra gang.
Yeah.
Libra gang. All right.
But I've been slapping his shit a lot. Brent Faiyaz, like I told you. What else? I've been listening to all sorts of shit. Honestly,
how you feel about that new Summer Walker?
That song that she got with Usher with the "You Make Me Wanna" sample. That shit is actually fire.
Yeah, that shit.
She's actually killing the fucking game.
She is.
She's killing the game. She got the R&B shit on lock, and like her like shit that she does with her voice and the chords that she chooses like is like some shit that hits you straight, like, you know what I'm
right
saying?
here. And it's like what's crazy is I was talking to somebody the other day and they were just like, the way she's so melodic, but when you actually listen to what she's saying some real G hood ass shit, but it making it sound so melodic and beautiful.
She raw.
She is. Like, I would love to hear y'all.
Oh yeah, I would love to do some shit with her for sure.
Like, that shit would be dope. Like, ooh, like you heard, and then Pharrell produce it.
Come on, man.
Come on. When that happens, because it's gonna happen. Please call me, because I would love to be in the room while that magic is being made.
I appreciate that. Honestly,
oh my god,
I would love that.
I'm from my mouth to the universe ears for you.
We gotta make that happen.
I know it's gonna happen.
Hopefully, we look back on this interview like, in a couple years and we make that happen.
When it happens, I'm gonna go and find this clip. And I'm going to put it side by side of me in the studio like this. Like, yeah, my nigga. Like, I predicted this shit. Like, y'all would be hella dope on a track together.
That would be raw.
Sure.
I would love that, honestly.
For sure. So, so can we get the name of your new EP that's dropping?
Of course. I called it Sometimes I Miss Me. Ooh. And I called it that because I made this whole project when I was like going through like some depression. Okay. I was going through some bullshit, and I felt like I kept telling myself while I was going through this shit, like, damn, I miss being myself. Kept saying that, damn, I miss being myself. Sometimes I miss myself. Like, I
mean, that shit hits you raw. That shit hits you mad deep. Like, when you're depressed, you're not yourself. So you gonna miss yourself. Yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, that's how I came up with the title, because I felt like I just like wasn't myself, and like I wanted to be myself so bad again, but like I had to like feel what I was feeling at the time and like go through what I was going through, and that's why I called it called it that, and I felt hella better when it was done. Like today, I finished it completely. Like so, like the process from like starting it to like finish, like I fought my depression. Like I'm out of my head again. Like shit feels good. Like you know what I mean. But the process wasn't easy. Like sometimes like you don't even like want to like go record. You don't even want to do shit. Like you just kind of want to sit on your ass and like kind of wait till shit fade away. But like the only way that you like get out of it is like going through it. Like and you gotta get your ass up and like go to the studio. You gotta go record. You gotta go make shit.
You gotta push through the mental.
Like, but
that's hard because I mean I know we've all had depression at more than one time or another, and then each challenge is different. Each mental blockade is different. Like you getting up and it's easier said than done. Like that depression is literally physically crippling at sometimes, and you just like it sucks. Like, and I like that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast. And even though I love it to death, it's been a fight and it's been a struggle to keep it going. But it's the best thing, one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I get to sit here and talk to dope people you who make music for people who are going through depression like me to inspire me to do shit like this. So it all comes full circle.
It does.
And that's what I'm trying to like get out to everybody else. Like we can all help each other. Like you saw me on social media. We met in person one time, but it was like a quick interaction. But we built our more of our friendship through social media, and now it's brought us here. And now we're working together and we're getting content. We're letting people know that your EP is dropping like soon, and we're talking about future collaborations with Summer Walker and Pharrell. Like this is amazing to me. Like I think this is one of the best things about being alive, and the fact that we have,
especially in this time,
and the fact that we have opportunity to do things like this. It's like you said, you went back to India. Like a lot of people there don't even have this option to sit down to have the free time to do this. You know what I'm saying? So this has truly been a blessing and a eye-opening conversation. So that's your camera right there, the wide camera. Plug all your shit, all of it. Social media, plug the EP, let them know where they can find you, let them know the drop date, let them know everything.
For sure. So my name's Jin Luv. You can follow me on the gram, JIN.LUV. Search me on any of the digital outlets, JINLUV. I got some songs on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, all of them. But if you really like want to get to know me better as an artist, go on my SoundCloud, because like I post like my moods on SoundCloud. Like I kind of post on SoundCloud like Instagram. Like if I make some shit in the studio and it's like even like some mixtape shit, like some thoughts, like I'll throw it up on the cloud just for like my people to listen to.
Message.
Yeah.
That's a message. That's a key to all y'all who's out there making music right there. Boost up your SoundCloud, because that's free. That's
SoundCloud changed my life.
It's going to get you your followers because it's free. A lot of people who are 18 and under who can't afford, don't have a job to pay for Apple Music or Spotify, they're going to listen to SoundCloud.
It's nuts. I'll tell you a story about SoundCloud real quick. Do we got time?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, for sure. So what's crazy is I was selling cars prior to like me quitting my job and like moving to LA. But I remember I was doing music at the time and I was dating this girl. We had broke up. And I remember when we broke up, I was dumbass depressed. And I wrote this song called Real Love. It was the first song I ever put up on the Jin Luv SoundCloud. I had no following. Like I just hit like 2 million streams on SoundCloud. But like what's nuts is it had like 200 plays, and this kid from Belgium had hit me. And he was like, yo, like I just broke up with my girl. I hella relate to your song. And I was selling cars at the time. So like long story short, me and this kid just started messaging. He happened to be a DJ. Shout out Jeff from Trillers in Belgium. But he happened to be a DJ, and he was playing my shit out there for the kids in Belgium. And like he's like one of the top influencers out there. So he DJ'd like some dope parties out there. Long story short, 6 months later, like after chopping it up with him, I was sending my tracks when I would like cut them. He got me a show in Belgium. And like I took like maybe 2 weeks off and I went to Europe. I went on tour in Europe. And he got me a show in Belgium, and I went and performed out there for like some kids that like knew my songs. They was singing my shit. That shit changed my life. That was like the first experience I had. Like, and I'd been doing music since I was like really like 18, but like that shit flipped for me when I was 25. Like really flipped. Like I saw kids like really singing my shit. They was pulling their camera out at my show, like hella juiced to see me. some dude came up to me and was like, "Yo, Jin Luv, like I fucked my girl to your shit." And I'm like, "Damn!" Like, and I ain't even like made it yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and you already got baby making music. Yeah. Let it go, boy.
Shit's nuts. So like, what's crazy is like to everyone tuning in that's like an artist that's starting out or anything. Like, I literally made a song about my feelings, and like I was sad as fuck, but what's nuts is like that shit turned into me traveling the world and like getting exposed to like hella crazy shit
and hella people.
I remember hitting my ex and I was like, thank you for breaking up with me, and thank you for putting me through what you put me through, because like I'm out here across the world right now, like, and shit is just amazing. Like this was like the craziest thing. So I remember after that trip I came back to the Bay, and I remember sitting in my job selling cars. I used to hate that shit. And I remember sitting in my desk and I'd be like, damn, like, what the fuck am I doing taking 8 to 10 hours out of my day to do some shit that I don't even want to do? Like, people are listening to my music. Like, now's the time. So I came up with a plan. Like, I just stopped hitting my quota. And I came up with a plan to get fired on purpose so, like, I could get unemployment.
Yeah.
And then I got my unemployment and I moved to LA. And shit, here I am now. You know, the story was short. I'm tapped in with my homie that's in the NBA. He didn't expose me to like so much shit. I got to travel the world this year. Like went to Turks and Caicos, went to Hawaii. Like I went all over Europe. Like music has taken me crazy places. But more importantly, like if it weren't for SoundCloud, so like all you kids like that's on SoundCloud, like that shit really works. Like put shit out, promote it on your gram, and like connect with people. Like make shit that like relates to people, because that could take you in places that your mind could not even imagine. Like, and it was like one of the coolest feelings ever. Like, you know what I mean?
That's bro. Like, that's amazing to be taking that for your music off the first try to take you out that far. Like, most people don't hit their European tours until they're like knee deep in the game. You know what I'm saying? For that to be just basically you dipping your pinky toe in, it's just. It shows you just how powerful music is to people, and where it can, and it how it touches people and how it spreads like a virus. And it's like it's one of the most beautiful things. Like I don't know any other language or any other thing that brings people together like the way music brings people together. Like people make babies off of other people's music. People will literally fight over other people's music. People will literally scrap over you disrespecting their favorite rapper or their favorite artist. It's the most amazing thing to me, and I'm glad that you're that for someone, because I know my favorite rapper is J. Cole. And I know why. I love Cole, and I know why he's my favorite rapper, because he made 2014 Forest Hill Drive, and that's I feel like everybody has either a song or an album that's like, at this point in my life, this was monumental for me. This saved my life. And I hope that you are that to someone else.
I should have put Cole on my list.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you, bro, let me tell you something. The day I get Cole to sit in that chair where you're sitting, I will probably, I'm like, look, we got to schedule this out like a month. I got to get my mental together. I'll probably break down, cry, and be like, oh, this shit ain't real. This shit is not real. This shit is not real. I'm really not about to sit down and have a conversation. And when it happens, I don't know what the fuck. like I said, I'm going to need time to just get my shit together, because it will be, I get to sit down with this man and have a whole conversation with him. Like, I feel like it's a very intimate thing if you want to take it to that level. And I feel like I will be able to get that out of him. So I hope when it happens, that I get all the gems from this man so I can just spread it to everyone else. Yeah. Like, that's really all I want to do, is share the knowledge and everything like that.
Hell yeah.
All right, so you're on Apple Music, you're on Spotify, you're on SoundCloud.
All of them.
All of it is Jin Luv.
Yep, JINLUV.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for joining me.
Appreciate
and Jin Luv for episode number 5 on season 3 of Better Left Untitled. And we're going to see y'all next time.
I appreciate y'all, man.